Friday, 15th of May 2026. You know something will happen now, like I'll balls up the title and put 2025, or God only knows what. Anyhow, let me tell you about the IKEA effect. I'm obsessed with these eponymous effects. Obsessed. So the IKEA effect. People value items more if they have a hand in making them. Now there's a yes and there's a no to this, okay? According to researchers at Harvard Business School, products that involve self-assembly like IKEA furniture and meal kit boxes are valued by customers more than ready-made products because of the effort they put into making it. No. I mean, I personally hate IKEA. I know, I've said it, but only because I find large shops exhausting and lots of choice completely, like, exhausting. And also, I cannot assemble flat pack. 100%. I can barely assemble something if it comes in two halves. Do you know what I mean? I'd still be there next week going, maths face. I mean, the amount of times there's someone will come in and go, it's upside down. Yeah, so personally, if I get furniture, like there's a thing there, that's gorgeous. Got a chest of drawers there. I love that chest of drawers. It's handmade, it's old, it's got beautiful dovetail joints. Love me a dovetail joint. And I often think, more often than you think, how much I appreciate how someone made that. Then I've got this thing here, the tarot cupboard, which is much more of a made up one, you know. And I just, yeah. No, I don't think this one's true, but let me know in the comments. Lake Wobegon effect. People overestimate their abilities. Coined by physician John Jacob Cannell, who noted that every US state said their elementary school performance was higher than national average. The effect was named after Lake Wobegon, a fictional town from the US show A Prairie Home Companion. Does anybody know that radio show? Please let me know in the comments. According to the town's creator, all the residents of Lake Wobegon believe they are above average. This above average feeling is characteristic of the effect, with people believing they are better, smarter and more successful than they really are. See, I hope people do. That's not what I get from people. What I get from people is the opposite, where they have no idea, especially any time that I've worked with school children or anything. I've always come away thinking, God. And I did do a stint where I used to work with the difficult boys. That's what they were kind of called back then. I know. And it was, yeah, of course it was difficult. But I remember, you know, I don't know if I've told you this before really, but I was teaching them, I did a class with them. I could do anything I wanted because nobody cared about them because they were disruptive and had learning difficulties or whatever, or a mixture of all those things. And I did a class with them, which was like a George Orwell. In fact, we did George Orwell. I think they had to do George Orwell. Animal Farm though, not 1984. And I just said to them, okay, you hate this school. Let's just kick it off where we're at and not BS each other. You hate school. You don't want to be here. You hate it. So how would you run it better? You know, like it's a kind of democracy versus dictatorship debate. And I kind of loosely went into that. And, you know, and apart from the fact that I think one of them was probably vandalising something in the corner, it was a pretty captive audience. And they had some good ideas. And I remember thinking, there's such a lot of wasted potential here. You know, that yeah, of course they're going to be bored shitless copying out stuff in books if they're no good at maths. I was too, you know. So I think people underestimate children and themselves. So I disagree with that. Let me know in the comments. And we are using the sparkly cards today. I got all inspired by the neon one. So let's have the sparklier one. The other thing I'd really like to do, and I have no idea how to do it because it's very tightly controlled in the UK, is I would love to go in schools and teach kids how to do a YouTube channel. Because I also strongly believe that, and this is not a popular view because I know in a lots of places they're taking phones away from children and all the rest of it, and there's some merit in that, but I strongly believe there are so many talented kids or lonely kids, or you know, you never know, and they could do something on social media. And also, some of the jobs that they're still ploughing away at school are just going to be extinct. So yes, there you go. I didn't know I was going to rant today. I don't normally rant. So I would love to go in and just give confidence to some children to try, you know. Anyway, Ten of Wands in reverse. And I do believe that we had the Ten of Wands. Do you remember it was like a sinking stone in the middle of the reading yesterday? Can we get any sparkle? Oh no, there's no actual sunshine today really. Just the mildest sparkle though, wasn't there? The mildest sparkle. Might be able to, yeah, do it with the other camera. Releasing a burden. Woohoo! We like releasing a burden. And then this is bloody nice, I can tell you. We get the original OG power couple of the Queen and the King of Wands. Valentine thrown in. I know. Not bad. Funky. When you get the King and Queen of Wands, it's like, it can be masculine and feminine energies coming together. So you may find that, do you remember you had the Empress yesterday and the Queen of Cups? That there is a marrying of energies, that you're sort of more feminine energy where you're getting creative ideas and you're all swirly-whirly, is bumping into your masculine energy where it's like, let's harness those creative ideas and let's create a system without being too Knight of Pentacles about it. And that's a nice mix. It can also be if you're in some kind of relationship, so whether this is like a work relationship or a love relationship, where you could be matching a fire sign, but also you're going toe to toe with someone else's energy. So if I'm talking here to the more empathic types, the water signs maybe, I think that you're kind of coming out of your element and moving closer to theirs, and this is a sort of tour de force, as they say. Very pleased to see that in the reverse today. We've had various iterations of the Five of Pentacles coming through, haven't we? We've had go in the church, don't go in the church, you know, skip the church, take the high road, don't take the road, go and take the cucumber sandwiches. I just like that this kind of, should I stay or should I go, you know, should I be in or out, appears to be moving out as an energy. It's just withering on the vine. Good, let that wither. And then we get this great big bucket full of a rainbow. I mean, look at that gorgeousness. Woohoo! Ten of Cups, Mars in Pisces. It's a card of success, it's a card of fizz, it's a card of yes. It's a card of happily ever after. I like that it comes with the King and Queen of Wands, because this is kind of electric and the King and Queen of Wands are kind of kinetic. So when those two energies are bouncing off each other, it creates sparks. Ooh. Got a delivery across the road. Trying to see what it is. Ooh. Can't see what it is. It's like an open brown bag. Anyway, okay. And then we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. That's interesting. That is interesting. The Three of Pentacles is the work, playing nicely, working together, you know, community. It's the swapping of ideas. So it may be, if we look at these cards for a sec, hang on. Are we going to get any sparkles? No. Ooh. It may be that when you get this, that you're almost like a power couple in one person and you don't need anybody else's help to get there, okay? Which that was stopping you from doing. Maybe you felt you couldn't do it on your own. Maybe you felt you couldn't go it alone. And it's not a case of being lonely either. It's just a case of being a one-man or woman powerhouse. And I love this for you. Let me know your thoughts. Leave me a comment. And I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.